Hey there, it's Joddie Taylor. Whether you're a first-time listener or it ain't your first rodeo, welcome to Joddie Tried It. This tiny podcast is about my journey of purchasing and trying many professional and personal development tools and resources, such as courses, memberships, subscriptions, templates, and apps. I'll share my honest review, key takeaways, and things you might want to consider to help you make informed decisions about your personal and professional development. Now, time for a quick affiliate disclosure. Some of the links mentioned on Joddie Tried It, either on the show or in the show notes, are affiliate links, and at no additional cost to you, I will earn a commission if you click through and make a purchase. It's a simple way to support the Joddie Tried It podcast, and I only recommend products and services that I genuinely love or believe might be helpful to you. Your trust is important to me. Thank you so much, and without further ado, let's hop on into it. Let's talk desk setups, and workspaces. I'm going to start with a mini micro tour of what I'm using. I have a MacBook Pro, an iPad 10th generation, and a Google Pixel 8 Pro. These are the three devices that I use a lot for content creations, to watch all these courses I'm always buying, to watch YouTube videos, to record this podcast. I use my phone, Google Pixel 8 Pro. I also have a podcasting mic. I'll put the link in the show notes, but I really don't use it. I really should use it. And it's probably, if you've listened to all of the episodes, you may have heard me say this before. If you've listened to more than this episode of Joddie Tried It, the sound quality is pretty good and it takes amazing photos. In terms of editing, let's talk about that real quick. I don't do a lot of editing, but when I do edit, I use iMovie, and that is on my MacBook Pro. My MacBook Pro I bought in 2019, so it's no longer available brand new. You can get it refurbished. I'll see if I can find a link for a refurbished version and the latest version of the MacBook Pro. My next laptop will for sure be a MacBook. I do everything with this. If you're coming from a PC like I was, what was it, 5 years ago? For me, it was a steep learning curve. I would say it took me about 4 months to get really comfortable with using a Mac. And I still, to this day, if the computer freezes, I'm like, what is Alt Mac delete on Mac? I still have to Google it. Luckily, it doesn't freeze all that much, but things don't come to mind as quickly as they did when I had a PC, because I just used it so much more. But I'm never going back. I'll always have a Mac, except where I'm not going to go. This is a quick sidebar. When it comes to smartphones, Android life, I will never own an iPhone. Never. It's just a preference thing. Let's move on. Okay, so that's my technical setup. So I said my three devices and asterisk, kind of a podcast mic that I'm not using. But if you're looking for a podcast mic, I have the Blue Yeti. And I did some research and asked folks like what they were using before I got that one. I'll put the link in the show notes. Furniture. I am sitting on an adjustable swivel bar stool. I got it on Wayfair. It's no longer available, but I will put a link or two in the show notes for similar chairs that I have found. I find it to be comfortable. I've had a standing desk where I also use the bar stool, but a different type of bar stool. I've had a floor desk. I've had a regular desk. This setup is pretty comfortable. And let's move on to resources. So if you are looking, speaking of floor desk, if you are looking for a floor desk, I have two YouTube videos for you. One is from Thoughtworthy Co., and it is less than 3 minutes, I think, and it's a quick tour of his floor desk setup. And it is a thing of beauty. I just love the ideas there. He couldn't find the floor desk. I think he has, I'm going to put both of their videos because the other video has a makeover of his wife's floor desk. I'll put both so you can see like what the makeover was like and what the original setup was like. What he did was I think he got a table and shortened the legs. That certainly was the case with the second video I'm going to share. And that one is from Natasha Teresa. So let me give you the proper titles. They'll be in the show notes. So the first video I mentioned is Minimalist Desk Setup, Floor, Chair, and Desk. And in that video, again, it's under 3 minutes and it features, there are 2 desks there, him and his wife share an office space. Also from Thoughtworthy, I think they filmed that about a year after. These videos are 2-3 years old. Husband gives wife's desk setup a makeover, minimal and aesthetic. And then those are both from Thoughtworthy Co. And then finally from Natasha Teresa, I switched to a floor desk to improve my health. And this is what happened. I like these videos. I like their setups. If you're into a minimalist design, you might appreciate what they've done here. If you're into standing desk, I can tell you what I did when I had a standing desk. I actually got mine from Home Depot. The brand is Husky. It is not a standing desk. It is actually a workbench that you would usually see in a garage. One very, very important thing I want to say about this is if you go to Home Depot in person to pick it up, you will discover this right away. Mine was delivered. It's extremely heavy. So you will need like 2 or 3 people to carry it in. Hopefully you don't have a lot of stairs. Hopefully you're getting on an elevator or you're setting it up on the first floor. It was really heavy and it comes in a flat box. So there's some setup. Again, you could outsource it if you're really handy, put it together. The one issue that I did not think of, so I guess there's 2 issues. It is extremely heavy, number 1. Number 2, once you set it up, to get it back out the door, if it's a standard size door, you're probably going to have to take the legs off and get it out that way. And again, have help because this is actually made of wood. I'm going to get the description. So this workbench is actually made from it says dark stained wood top and gloss black. That's the one I had. It actually comes in a different stain as I recall, and it retails for about $300. I got it on sale, and again, it was so heavy. The delivery person was like in a fit of rage how heavy this thing was, and he all but threw it out of the truck, so it got damaged, and I got further credit on it. So just something to consider. Once it's set up though, it does what it's supposed to do. It has an adjustable crank, so this isn't going to be electric. It's electric. Dun, dun, dun. Stop. Okay, so focus. The size I got was 52 inch by 24 inch. It's a lot of space. If you don't need like a filing cabinet, you don't need a lot of drawers, this is perfect. Only has 1 drawer. And keep in mind, it is an adjustable height workbench. So this is just in terms of inspiration. If you want a standing desk, but you don't want to pay for a standing desk, this is based on the standing desk I was looking at a few years ago. This is a cheaper alternative. Or you could use a dining room table and somehow elevate it. I am not handy at all. Please do your due diligence. Don't say, Joddie said I could put these on some textbooks and it would be great. No, I'm not saying that. Look into it. Okay, so I gave you my setup. I want to share one more resource. And you know what? As I'm looking at my laptop, I don't know if I mentioned this, but it's resting on 3 books. That's what I'm using as a riser. I want to share with you a couple of glass risers that I had that made my laptop higher and it was adjustable that I really loved. I don't have them anymore because they're glass and I got into my head they would break if I tried to take them, like pack them up for my move. So I don't have them, but I think I'm going to purchase them again because this looks a little silly. Let's see what the books are. There's a binder that I actually need. So this is a temporary setup. And the books are Vegan at Times by Jessica Seinfeld, excellent cookbook, and All Day Vegan by Mina Rome, also an excellent cookbook. Okay, so I got these risers, glass risers on Amazon. There it says 2-pack computer monitor riser with height adjustable multimedia desk setup stand. I love this thing. At one point I had 2 monitors and I had a monitor on each one. You know what too? Because it's glass, I also at some point was not using it on the desk, but on my bedroom dresser with like different things that I had in the bedroom on there. It sounds like I'm being vague, but mostly I kept like coffee cups on it And at one point I had like body cream on it. So you can use it for more than just your office space or workspace. Speaking of workspaces, last but not least, if you want some inspiration all in one place, of course, you can go to YouTube and type in desk tour, desk setup, and your aesthetic. So maybe minimalist, maximalist, kawaii, Hello Kitty. Type in whatever you want. I bet you find something. And if you don't, film your workspace, your desk setup, your desk tour, and put it on YouTube so we all can see it and enjoy. So the last thing I have for you is a very aptly named newsletter called Workspaces. You can find it at workspaces.xyz. And it comes out twice a week on Saturday and Sunday. And it's literally just a collection of creative individuals from all over the world and their workspaces. So you're going to learn about maybe new to you careers that you didn't know about or you didn't know so much about. You're going to learn about different folks and their workspaces. It's so interesting to see. You can go from someone who has all pink to folks who have Star Wars to folks that have a lot of equipment like monitors and lamps and like different lighting and 3 monitors, a standing desk, a floor desk, a view, no view, minimalist. It's really interesting. And I think you can fall down a rabbit hole in terms of inspiration. All right, I'm going to leave you with a quote and we will end here. It's what I strive for, whether it's my workspace, my space at home. If I had a car, it would be what I was striving for too. And here's the quote. Have nothing in your house that you do not know to be useful or believe to be beautiful. William Morris. Hey, thanks for listening to this episode of Joddie Tried It. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my newsletter at joddie.substack.com. That's joddie.substack.com. And please share with a friend or 3. Thanks for listening.